So usually when someone has like something really important to tell me, I would rather they just come out, just say it, let it marinate. I don't like when people beat around the bush, say a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm just gonna come out and say it. I am leaving my university and I'm gonna be doing YouTube full time for 1 year. Yeah, let that sit there for a second. Now I know some people are gonna be like, okay, Corey, that's awesome, more videos, and then there will be some people that's like, what are you doing with your life? Like that is like the dumbest decision you could ever make. And while I don't really have to explain myself, I feel that you guys have been here for a while. Like maybe not all of you, maybe some people just subscribed yesterday or maybe 10 minutes ago, but in all seriousness, I feel a connection with you guys, and that might be weird to some people. I get questions, from some of my close family, not family members, but people that are close to my life, like, why are you getting so personal on YouTube? Why are you sharing so much? Why are you, telling stuff that doesn't need to be told? And, sometimes I feel that they're right, that sometimes you shouldn't put like every single thing on YouTube, but we've built a rapport, and I'm not gonna share anything that I'm uncomfortable sharing, but I will say, what's going on in my life, and I feel that things like this strengthen our connection. So, with that being said, let's get to explaining. I've been gaming on YouTube for about a year now. I've been off and on with the consistency. For the most part, I've uploaded 2 videos a day, and I know this last month does not reflect that at all. But if we like tallied up all my videos, it would average to like 2 videos a day because I was so strong with it in the beginning. And I didn't have any subscribers back then. I had like 2,000 something, wasn't making any money, all for fun, all for fun. Like the passion is or was and is still there. I remember playing Crooked Man, Witch's House. Wasn't making any money from it. Like, 10 cents, 10 cents for every couple videos. Like it was totally minuscule, totally, non-profiting. My hobby was YouTube, but my job was university. You understand? Like, I was just doing this as a side thing. And at that time, it was more like a fantasy, like some sort of dream. Like, what if I got enough money from this that I could like just do this, like just work on videos, just play games, just have fun and stuff like that. Totally out of the realm of possibilities making 20 cents per video. So we fast forward like maybe 8 or so months when Five Nights at Freddy's comes out. And that totally changed like my channel. Like overnight it changed my channel, and I think really it just came down to my channel just needed a little exposure because a lot of people that came from that, like, and when you find someone new, you don't just subscribe off one video. Most of the time you see a new video and then you go back to their library. You see what kind of YouTuber they are, you explore a little bit before you drop that subscribe on their head. So a lot of people came for Five Nights at Freddy's, and they went back and saw like all these RPG horrors that I did, like Ao Oni and what else did I do? Crooked Man and all those stuff. And they were like, this guy's pretty cool. This guy's pretty funny. Blah blah blah. Subscribe. So we fast forward today. As you all know, or most of you know, I attend the University of Michigan, and I study computer science. And this semester, I learned something. I learned that for me, it's not possible to do YouTube the way that I want to do it, which is, like my crazy editing. It's not really anything special, but put in the time that I know that needs to be put into videos for at least me to like them, because I'm not going to upload anything that I don't like most of the time. So yeah, I learned that for me it's not possible to do YouTube the way that I want to do it, and to do university, to be successful in these freaking hard programming classes. In the middle of the semester, I decided that I needed to choose one over the other. I needed to really deliberate and see which one that I wanted to do. And I felt that YouTube was a more time sensitive one. It because my university is not going anywhere. They're not gonna kick me out of the university and say like you need to apply again or whatever. Like I went to my advisors to tell them what was on my heart, what was going on with YouTube, and how I feel that it's something that I really want to explore, something that I really want to see how far it can go. And, I asked him, like, if I wanted to step away for the university for a year, 2 years, or whatever, like, what will be the procedure to getting back just in case YouTube didn't work out? Because YouTube's not going to be here forever. I'm smart enough to know that. I'm smart enough to know that there will be something else big. So after a couple weeks of thinking about it, I made my decision to step away for 1 year and to see, putting all of my time into YouTube, what could be done with this. Now, mind you, it was not an easy decision. Like some people, like some friends, some close friends are like, Corey, like you're almost done. Like why are you doing this? And I just want to give you guys a little bit of backstory about my academic life, or at least post high school. So the University of Michigan is the number one school in Michigan. It is the number one school in the state. I don't care what anybody else says about it. Um, and out of high school, ever since I was in fourth grade, this is the school that I wanted to go to because my dad went to this school, and he would show me around and take me up here occasionally, and I fell in love with this school. Like this maize and blue, that was all that was ringing in my ears. In high school, 11th grade, I applied to University of Michigan. Of course, it was my number one school, my dream school, and then a couple other schools, Michigan State, Central, Eastern, all the schools surrounding where I lived. And I didn't get in. I got rejected from University of Michigan, and it dang near broke my heart because I wanted to come here since the fourth grade. So I ended up getting accepted to Michigan State University. So I did my first 2 years over there, and one night I had a phone call with my dad, and he was telling me, like, it's not too late, if you ever wanted to, because I had expressed to him, like, I wonder how things would have turned out if I got into Michigan, how different my life would be, and how I wish that I had got in. And he was saying, like, you're coming up on your second year of completion at MSU. People transfer schools all the time, and I was like, really? Like, I'm going to transfer? I had a bunch of friends at state. Like, I was doing really good academically as well. Like, I had some really good grades that I didn't want to like start over and stuff. But I said, why the heck not? Just let's just go for it. So I just filled out the application, really didn't not feeling like I was gonna get in. Like I was at the mental state that, if I don't get in, I'm not even mad because I like it where I am. I had established a love for MSU. I when I first went to that school, like I did not like it at all, but I made so many friends and I had such a great time that I was like, if I don't get into Michigan, it's fine. And of course, I got into Michigan the second time. So then I had to make another decision. Do I want to leave all my friends, leave everything behind, start over, start all my grades over? And I did. And I decided that I was going to do that because this was my dream school. I always wanted to be a Wolverine. So basically, I said all that to say, it wasn't an easy decision deciding that I wanted to step away from this school. This is my number one school, my dream school over all schools. I would go here over Harvard or Princeton, or if anybody else, said, Corey, come over here. You're accepted over here. I wouldn't leave this school for any other school. So it was really hard for me to decide something like this. Sometimes when you really want to do something, or like you have like passion, like such a strong passion for something, you have to make sacrifices. There's no getting around it. Sacrifices will be made. So the hard part, with that being said, was talking to my parents and telling them that I wanted to leave my university for a year, and they oh man, that phone call was one of the scariest phone calls. I called my dad first. And I just said it, like, it took me a couple minutes, but I just said it. I want to try out this YouTube thing for a year and see what happens. And I expected an earful of just, you freaking idiot, no, no, no. And to my surprise, he was so he was so understanding. I'm not gonna say the word supportive. Supportive is different from understanding. He was so understanding, and he said something along the lines of, it's your life, and if you want to do something, or if you like have a dream or something, like, oh, what did he say? Come on. He said like if you he would never shame anyone that was trying to follow their dream or something like that. So I called my mom, and my mom is a little softer than my dad, so I wasn't as anxious with her, and she was really understanding as well. So after I told my parents, I was extremely happy, that they were so understanding. And while they don't fully support, like, leave university, because um I'm not an idiot. I know that a college degree is more stable. It's more it's more of a guarantee of a better life. But at the same time, like I was saying earlier, if you have a passion for something, if you feel such fever over accomplishing something that you feel you can really accomplish. And I'm not just talking about YouTube. I'm talking about going to the NBA, NFL, or being a doctor, a lawyer, or freaking being a policeman. Like, there's nothing that anyone can say to you that can deter you from what you're trying to do. So I put together a plan, and I talked to a few friends about it to get, some inputs, a little bit of advice and stuff. So what this plan would entail is, of course, me stepping away for a year and doing YouTube full time. And thanks to YouTube, thanks to you guys and all the support that you guys show the channel, I'm able to get a small apartment. And that was an adventure in itself, because I had to explain to them, like, I make videos on the internet as my job, and they're like, what the freak does that mean? And because these YouTube paychecks, like, they're not the same, like, they differ, and they can differ by like hundreds of dollars per month. So it's like it's definitely not it's definitely not guaranteed. So I was able to get the apartment thanks to my dad being a co-signer, because it is so hard. Like, at least in this stage, like, I doubt like PewDiePie or like the other people that make like hundreds of thousands would need like a co-signer, because it's just so much over the freaking rent. But yeah, I need a co-signer. So my dad was so amazing, and he helped me out with that. So May 1st, I will be moving out of this dorm and moving to an apartment, which of course I will show you guys. And that date will begin the 1 year away from university. And I put together the plan, which was after 1 year of full-time YouTube, which is 2 videos every single day. Um, at the end of that year, I would once again make a decision based on what happened during that year, how successful how successful the plan was. And it was hard for me, because I didn't want to put like a stipulation, like, if I make over 3,000, then I will keep doing YouTube. Like, I didn't want to do it like that, but I wanted to make the goal something that I wasn't even sure if I could accomplish, like something that I would need to push and grind so hard for in order to achieve. So I decided that the goal would be 150,000 subscribers. That if I could reach 150,000 subscribers after 1 year of doing this, then I would keep doing it for another year. And if not, then I'm coming back to university. And unfortunately, that would mean that I would need to step away from YouTube. Sucks. It really sucks. Sometimes in life, like, we have to be realistic. Like, I'm not gonna just keep doing it if it doesn't support me enough. Being a YouTuber, playing games and having fun in front of my camera supersedes any job that I would get from being a computer scientist. It's literally a dream job. Like, there are very few things that I have more passion for than playing video games. So um it's not even about the money. It's just, I want to be able to support myself. I want to be able to support my family, and I want to be able to give to charities. And that's pretty much it. If I could do those things, then I don't care how much I make. I just want to be able to do those things. You know what I mean? I don't need to be a millionaire. I don't need to make hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. because this is something that I love to do. We go to college to find something that we want to do, or get certified enough so that we can do that. But with YouTube, you kind of don't need that part. And I fully intend to graduate from Michigan because I've spent some years here. I'm not just gonna throw all that in the trash. Like, I'm coming back, but right now I feel that YouTube, like with the channel, what's going on with my channel, and it's how crazy my YouTube story is, really. I just find that it's a little more time sensitive than university right now. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. So, one of my biggest worries was, what was everyone gonna think about me? I I had always been like, I'm the oldest in my family. I was so much pressure, and my parents always tell me, like, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. But I'm the oldest, and I'm supposed to graduate university. I'm supposed to be like the smart kid and stuff like that. And I had so much worry about, what will my parents think, what will my sisters and brother think, what will my friends think, what will you guys think. And we can't live life like that. If we live life like that, then we won't ever do what we want to do. We won't ever take risks or try to do things that are too unordinary. Um, I mean, even I look at myself like, okay, you're leaving one of the best universities in the world for something that might not exist in a couple years from now. But for the last time, if you have a passion for something, nothing should get in your way. There's no human being or what anybody on this planet thinks that should deter you from accomplishing your dreams, whether it be, like I said, being a doctor, being a policeman, being a YouTuber. At the same time, I'm not saying that we should be reckless, but if you really feel like you can accomplish something, like if you have that much belief in yourself, if you have that much confidence, and I can see this channel having 100,000 subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, just like before I saw the channel having 10,000 subscribers about a year ago. And now we have 74,000 subscribers. And when I reached that 10,000 mark, you guys don't know how much that opened up for me. How like I unlocked my potential, so to speak. Like, at that moment I knew that anything could be accomplished. Like, why is 100,000 unrealistic from 10,000? I had 2,000 and 8,000. That's like 4 times as many subscribers that I had. Now that I have 74,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers is not unrealistic for me to reach. It's not the confidence or the faith that I lack. It was what I thought people would think about me. And I just want you guys to know that there's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that you can't do. Like I was saying a couple days ago, when I announced that I was going to make some big announcement, I have no idea what's at the end of this road. YouTube could my channel could get shut down next week, and then like I have a lease for a year of an apartment that I'm no longer able to afford, or YouTube could shut down next year. Anything could happen. But right now, I'm not thinking about 1 year from now, because it's not 1 year from now. It is today. It is right now. And right now, I want to be a full-time YouTuber. I want to see how far this channel can get pushed. I have so much passion for this. My passion is unquestioned. There's nothing that I would rather get paid for. Even getting too passionate in this video, I need to calm down. But so yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in my life right now. It is April 23rd, 2015. Today is the start of full-time YouTube. So I was thinking of a schedule, like what times, because I'm tired of, since this is full-time now, like there's no reason for unprofessionalism anymore. So I wanted to establish like some times that I could upload, like that you guys would know at this such and such time Corey's uploading a video. and I thought 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time were some good times because I know that I have like a lot of people that watch me in the UK and some countries that are way over there. So I don't want to have it be too late for them, but also I think about like California when they're like 3 hours behind and they would get a video at like 10 a.m. But I thought 1:30 and 3:30 were pretty good times. So from now on, there will be two videos per day, 1:30 and 3:30, coming from this samurai brother. I just want to thank God for this crazy opportunity because, like I said before, and like I say in like many of my like thank you videos when we hit like subscriber milestones, I believe it's all because of him that I'm in the position that I am in. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but like I also said, everyone is free to believe what they want. And of course, my loyal samurai brothers and sisters, I have to thank you because this wouldn't be possible without you. Like I said, like this could lead to utter failure, or it could lead to like crazy success. Who knows? But regardless of what lies at the end of this path, you guys are coming with me. I'm bringing you guys on this crazy adventure because without you, I wouldn't be CoryxKenshin would still be like at 3,000 subscribers, and still it would still be a hobby. So I want to thank you guys for that. I mean, look, we've been to PAX East. You guys have already given me my first gaming convention, my first convention period, excuse me. So I have so much faith in you guys and what we stand for and the channel itself. So quick recap, May 1st, 2015, I will be leaving the dorms and moving into my apartment, and the 1 year away from university slash YouTube full-time will begin. It wasn't an easy decision. It took me a very, very long time to think about it. This is not some rash decision that I just come to, out of nowhere. I really took time to think about this, and I spoke to my advisors and spoke to my parents. I did everything that I needed to do to get ready for this. Sacrifices have to be made sometimes if you want to pursue your dreams or get closer to accomplishing whatever it is you want to. And we have to accept those. We have to, regardless if the repercussions are good or bad, the consequences good or bad, like we need to accept whatever happens because of the decisions that we make. If after 1 year I don't feel that YouTube is a viable way for me to make a living, then I will have to step away from YouTube at least until I graduate because like I said, I can't do both the way that I want to at the same time. And last but not least, I couldn't be happier right now. I'm actually doing something on my own. Like, when I say on my own, I don't mean like I'm responsible for everything that's happening. Like, I mean, I'm actually taking my life and doing what I want with it. A lot of times I felt like, I was just going along with the waves just of life, not really having any real autonomy, not making any real decisions like falling into school and stuff. But for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm grabbing my life and steering it in the direction that I want. Like, and that meant going against what my parents wanted, going against what probably some of you want. Like I said, that was one of the hardest phone calls I've ever made in my life, if not the hardest. But I couldn't be happier now that we're all on the same page and everybody knows what's going on with me. Hey, I'm free, man. I have faith. I really do. And I have faith in you guys. I have faith in the channel. And faith doesn't mean that we're gonna succeed, but um it gives me a really good feeling about this. So that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for listening, and although some of you might not agree with what I said, even after sitting through all of that, that's totally fine. Like, I totally respect your opinion, like the same way I respect my parents and my friends' opinions. But this is my life, and I'm going to live it the way that I want to. I'm not gonna do anything like reckless or like bad. I just want to experiment, take 1 year of my life and do something and take a chance of something that I'm really uncertain about. And yeah, hopefully this will be my last serious video for a very long time. And with that being said, I will see you guys at 1:30 tomorrow. Bye guys.